Hello and welcome to this week's Yin. Take your time finding that comfortable position on your mat. And we can start lying down, just allowing body and mind to switch off for a moment, however that's possible for each and every one of us. And just take a moment acknowledging how the body is right now, how the mind is right now, whatever psychological environment we're in right now. So just taking a look at this triptych, the body, mind, and spirit. I'm just gently assessing without really getting deep into it, just really collecting any data you can gather. Checking in the state of the body, if there are any aches or pains, if there's tiredness, if there is sense of agitation, if there's anxiety, if there is a longing to rest and do nothing, or if there's a longing to just, start jumping around. And, either of those are conditions that we have during our day. It's that wave of spike and decline. So just noticing where you are in your wave, what's happening to you right now. And in either of those situations, a yin class would be very, very welcome. If you're very, very stressed and very full of energy and just really needing to get things out of your system, just taking a moment to step back and allow the things to calm down would be of much benefit. On the other hand, if you feel tired, exhausted, and not in the mood to do much, well, again, a yin class is perfect because it's going to give you all the benefits of movement without doing much, without spending much energy. So let's start making that transition to here and now, body and mind on the mat. And noticing your points of contact as they connect. Noticing that kind of support that comes from underneath. And imagine that your whole body is gently melting, just softening, easing, releasing, letting go. Noticing if there's any tension that you're holding, any parts of the body that resist the let go. And with your next out breath, just really think of those parts of the body softening, melting. And we can start shifting the attention to the breath. Noticing how, as you're focusing onto the breath, there is a general feeling of relaxation and ease as you're breathing in and out. And really try to focus your mind onto the out breath. And maybe you can even start elongating a bit the out breath. So maybe we can take it into a 2-4 breathing pattern. So just keeping in mind that your out breath would be twice as long as your inhale. And from there, you can start very, very gently waking up the body. Moving fingers, toes, and hands and feet, stretching arms, stretching legs, opening, expanding, maybe twisting, turning. You're just inviting your body to move a bit, just shaking things up. And as you're doing that little stretch, which doesn't have to be, there's no right or wrong, there's no exact shape for it. It's your own little personal stretch, something that allows your body to feel comfortable, that really sort of shows you the way for the day. You know, if parts of the body are a bit achy, you just make sure you take care of them. You know, if there are certain parts that you'd like to stretch and work out today, again, you can see that now and adjust your practice accordingly. Lovely. And then eventually just go ahead and bring both knees all the way in close to your chest. We're going to start with a primary curve going into the fetal. So knees close to your chest, deep breath in. And on the exhale, forehead coming up towards your knees. And just staying there. Taking a few breaths as we're allowing that lovely stretch along the back of the neck for 3 and 2 and 1. On the exhale, we release. Nice. Head coming down, squeezing your knees a bit closer in, flexing your feet. And on the exhale, just go ahead and extend both legs, reaching up. Good. Feet flexed. And just go for a little flexing and pointing. Checking in with your ankles, noticing the calves as they stretch, the shins as they work. 3 and 2 and 1. Very nice. And just go for little circles now. So all the way from the ankle, we're just moving the legs around. And just keeping your legs elevated is of great benefit. It doesn't really matter how stretched or extended your legs are, just keep them pointing up. Nice. And then just give it a shake. Perfect. Knees coming all the way in towards your chest. Maybe start rolling from side to side just for a moment. And then eventually we're going to let both legs roll over to the right. So legs falling over to the right hand coming over and on top your left leg, just adding that little bit of extra weight. And then you can open your left arm to the left, eyes turning to look to the left. Now, there are a couple of things now that you might want to add. So if you find that your left shoulder really floats and your arm cannot reach down, and that causes you to add extra tension around that whole left area of the body, you can bring along a cushion or a rolled blanket or something that could actually provide the necessary support for this part of your body. And only then you'll be able to actually and completely let it release. It's just staying there. I'm taking a moment finding your points of contact. They're new. They're different ones right now. So check in, notice, and then just think of the weight of the body releasing through those new points. Breathing in. And on the exhale, you can go ahead and extend your right leg where you are and let your left knee drop a bit further down over to your right side. Again, if that makes it a bit too intense, especially for that part of the lower back around the SIJ, you can always place a little cushion or even your fist under your left knee so it has a bit of an elevation. But you judge it, you play it as you feel it's best for your body. And just think of that space opening across the chest. And with the exhale, just thinking of the whole weight releasing and find the ground. And from there, optional, you could bend that right knee and go grab your right foot with your left hand, adding an extra stretch along your right quadricep. If at any point anything feels a bit too much, you can always come back to the previous state where you can feel that your body can enjoy it and can take the benefits from it without being pushed or forced into something it doesn't really like. Holding there for 3 and 2 and 1. Breathing in. On the exhale, we release that right leg and we're going to come and move all the way back to center. Right foot stepping down, left ankle right under your right knee. Great. And from there, just gently lift that right leg, bringing that right knee closer to your body and just taking your hands through and around that right thigh. And just hold it there. Thinking of that right knee coming in towards you and your left knee being pushed away from you. And just hold it. And here you could even play with extending maybe that right leg, maybe flexing as well the right foot. So you're getting multiple stretches at the same time for both legs. If you're chosen to extend that right leg, you could even try and go ahead and grab that right leg from higher up. So not around the thigh, but maybe along the calf, or even grabbing the foot or toes. See what feels sort of comfortable, and a way that you can, let's say, keep that right leg close enough to your body so you can work around with all the stretches as you're holding yourself there. The 3 and 2 and 1, breathing in. On the exhale, release. That right foot comes all the way back down onto the floor. Your left ankle still stays a bit under your right knee. Hands coming on either side of your pelvis. You can walk the right foot as close to the body as it feels comfortable. And on the next inhale, we're going to lift the pelvis up. Now you see your left leg is still bent and your left ankle is still under your right knee. Holding it there for 3 and 2 and 1. Breathing in. And on the exhale, softly. We'll bring it all the way back down. Release the legs, knees coming in towards your chest. Squeezing in. Inhale. On the exhale, legs reaching all the way up. And just hold in there for a moment. If you find that a strap would be helpful, you can go ahead and bring it along. You could bring the strap along the balls of your toes, the foot, and just keep pulling. So that allows your arms to stay relaxed. So you have no tension around your shoulders, nothing. And as well, you can work through that stretch along the back of the legs. That is, if you feel that your legs are holding on too much. So like if you feel that you're engaging your abs in order to keep the legs extended, that's where probably you need some sort of strap. Holding it there for 3 and 2 and 1. Breathing in. On the exhale, just softening both knees, just gently rolling from side to side. And we're going to take it over to the left. So whenever you're ready, both knees falling over to the left side, one leg stacked on top of the other, right arm opening to the right, eyes turning to look to the right too. Now your left hand stays onto your right thigh to add that little extra weight, and stay.
Again, taking a moment to notice the new points of contact. And to really reassure your body that, yeah, it's safe. There's a solid connection. And you can actually allow the body to rest through those points. You can let the weight release. No holding, no tensing, nothing. Deep breaths here. Inhale. And on the next exhale, go ahead and extend your left leg all the way down, allowing your right knee to drop a bit further down, over to your left. Again, if you feel that this is a bit intense for the lower back, you can always place a fist under your right knee, or you can place a yoga block, a couple of books, a rolled blanket, cushion, anything, a shoebox, anything that you find provides you the right support. Eyes looking out, and just stay. And if you'd like, that's optional. You can go ahead and bend that left knee and grab your left foot with your right hand, getting that left thigh to stretch. Allowing each out breath to help the body settle a bit deeper into the pose. For 3, and 2, and 1. Breathing in. On the exhale, we release. Nice. And we start rolling all the way back to the center. Left foot steps down onto the floor. Right ankle comes a bit under your left knee. So keeping the right knee pushing outwards, we're going to lift the left knee coming inwards. So left knee in, right knee out. And taking your hands around your left thigh. Noticing that the shoulders stay relaxed. If you find it a bit too hard, too far of a reach to get around your left thigh, you can always again use the idea of the strap. So that can be either a strap, or it can be t-shirt, it can be a blanket that something that you can actually bring around your thigh and hold it nice and tight. Shoulders stay relaxed. Breath just flows. For 3 and 2 and 1. Maybe you can experiment now by extending that left leg and taking your hands a bit higher up along that left leg. Or not. The exploration is a matter of taste. So if it doesn't feel right and it doesn't taste good right now, just leave it. You're free and the door is there to explore any other time. And we're just staying there for 3 and 2 and 1. Breathing in. On the exhale, we release. Arms releasing, coming down. Left foot steps down onto the floor. Right knee opens again nicely. Good. Bring your hands on either side of the pelvis. And on the next inhale, we're going to lift the pelvis up. Nice. Just think of that right knee opening as you come up. And try to keep the pelvis square. So notice that the pelvis does not drop to the right. So try to keep it, let's say, pointing up. So both sides of the pelvis point up. For 3 and 2 and 1. And we're letting it all release. Very nice. Bring both knees all the way in towards your chest. And from there, we're going to bring both arms from the insides of your legs and go ahead and grab the big toes. So each hand is going to grab the big toe of its own side. And once you've done that, just allow the knees to release on either side. Coming to the happy baby pose. This one can really help you release the lower back. So you can even think of the tail just gently pressing down towards the ground, as if you try to flatten the whole back of the pelvis down onto the floor. And just taking it for a little, like for little slots, little periods of time, just thinking of the pelvis flattening down and then releasing it. And then thinking of the tip of the tail just pointing down to the ground and then release. And one more. Tip of the tail pointing down and then release. Very good. Nice. Letting both legs release. And from there, just come and bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees open to the sides. Now for this one, you might as well need or feel more comfortable with some extra support. So you can find that support by placing either 2 yoga blocks under your thigh and calf. So, so that it can reach and catch both parts of the leg. And that can be a yoga block. Again, it can be a rolled blanket, a cushion, a jacket, something that actually has the right height and can provide you with the right support. Just make sure that the height of this prop that you bring along allows you to reach your edge, let's say, and comfortably supports you in that edge. So, I mean, if your leg is far higher than you could actually reach, there's no much point. So just make sure that that your prop supports you where you can feel the stretch happening, let's say the most. Not going over the edge, don't forcing any of that sort, but just make sure that within that support, there is an element of just leaning against that edge, finding that soft spot. Shoulders stay relaxed. Jaw relaxed. Your neck is free. Nice and soft. Lovely. And from there, we're going to softly bring it back to feet parallel. But in order to do that transition with the less effort possible, we're going to bring the heels together and open the toes to point outwards, like a nice first position on the oar. And from there, stepping through and livering through the outer edge of each foot where the little toe is, we're going to rotate the leg using that point of contact so we can bring the knees parallel. So that prevents you from using like the muscles of the legs to bring the legs up. So from there, just using the pivoting point on the outer edge on the little toe to bring the knees parallel. Perfect. And once you're there, feet parallel, knees parallel, inhale, lifting the pelvis up. And let's bring the arms all the way back behind the head too. And we're going to stay there. So feet parallel, knees parallel, engaging the glutes, pelvis pointing up, arms relaxed behind your head. Holding it for 3. And 2. And 1, breathing in. On the exhale, softly coming all the way back down. Very good. And from there, extending that left leg. And we're going to roll over to the left. So your right hand comes in front of you. And that right foot stays behind you. And I'd like you to step that right foot a bit further back. So as far back as you can feel a stretch, a deep stretch along that right thigh. And just holding it there. You can also feel like a little spiral happening along the back and the spine. Just holding it there. 3 and 2. Make sure you're breathing softly. And 1. Perfect. Easing that right knee, sort of bringing the legs parallel. And we're going to grab the right foot with the right hand. Good, as we are on our sides. And now it's the moment for the rollover. So from there, with some control, or maybe not, we'll see how that will go, we're going to roll all the way over to our belly. That might take us off the mat. That's okay. If you really want to be on your mat, just take a moment and relocate.
And so you have now your right foot behind you, your left arm extended to the front, and just stay there. Nice. Once you find that you're nicely connected where you are, on the next inhale, we're going to lift that left arm and also just lift a bit the chest. Holding it there. For 3. And 2. And 1. Breathing in. On the exhale, letting it all release. And just gently rolling it all the way back. All the way back to the center. And we can take it to the other side. So start by start by shifting the whole body over to the left side of the mat. So you have some space. So extending the right leg where you are. Right arm comes behind your head. And we're going to roll over to the right, left hand coming in front of you. Great. Starting from there and finding that nice support and balance, you're going to step the left foot further away from the body until you experience a deep stretch starting from the, let's say, the base, the root of the pelvis, and carrying on along that left thigh, the quadricep of the left leg. And just holding it there. And the more you allow that left shoulder to release down towards the ground, the more this spiral will get an effect throughout the whole torso. You could even let your head rest onto the ground. That's lovely. Holding it there for 3. And 2. And 1. Very nice. Now from there, we're going to bring that left hand behind the back and grab the left foot. And whenever you're ready and you feel steady and in control, we're going to roll over. Right arm extends to the front, left foot behind your back, left hand holding that left foot. And on your next inhale, just lift the head, lift the chest, take the right arm up. That's it. Holding there for 3. And 2. And 1, breathing in. On the exhale, we're letting it release. Take that hand, right hand, under your head and turn the head over to one side. Good. Deep breath here. On the exhale, release. And go ahead and bend your right knee too and grab the right foot with your right hand. And we're just going to hold it there for a couple of breaths. Think of your shoulders here. What's happening? Think of your lower back. What's happening? Think of the glutes. What's happening? And on your next inhale, gently lifting the head and the chest off the ground and start pushing the metatarsals, the top of the feet, against your hands. And see what happens. 3 deep breaths here. Breathing in. On the exhale, we're letting it all release. Legs releasing all the way down. Maybe coming back to the center of your mat. Head resting. Maybe turning the head over to one side.
And also just bring the big toes together and think of your heels turning to point outwards. And stay there. Lovely. Breathing in, and on the exhale, tuck your toes under, and come and take it all the way back to your child's pose. Taking a few deep, deep breaths here. Breathing in. Then on the exhale, we're gonna roll over to the table. Checking in with your wrists for a moment. And make sure that you spread the fingers wide, that you have a good contact under the balls of your fingers, the balls of the hands. And maybe let's go for some very, very gentle circles here. So just gradually allowing some weight to come onto the hands and onto the wrists. Nice. And you can go both directions. If you've been going one direction so far, you can go ahead and change. Keep extending and spreading the fingers wide. That's it. And finding center, go ahead and turn the fingers to point towards the sides of your mat. Great. Wrists staying under your shoulders. And from there, just gently go ahead and shift the weight to the right. And back to center. And to the left, gently. Always gently. Just really trying to listen what's happening and be ahead of anything that is to come. And back to center. Nice. And from there, turn the fingers to point towards your knees. So we're going an outward rotation for the whole arm, actually. And from there, just gently start shifting the pelvis towards the back, which will lead the whole body to gently shift backwards. 3. Make sure you're breathing softly. 2. And 1. Very, very gently, very slowly coming back, releasing your hands, bring them back in their own place, and take it down to the child's pose. Bring your hands into fists and just roll the fists over. So like the middle phalanx of the finger is the one touching down, like the part where a ring can sit. Very nice. And rolling all the way back to your table. Tucking your toes under, knees coming up. And from there, start shifting the pelvis back and up. Coming to a semi-downward dog. So knees are bent so that you can really push the body backwards and work through your shoulders to move the body back. We don't care about the legs for now, just the shoulders and the hip joints. Nice. And maybe just go ahead and extend one leg, letting one heel touch down. And then just swap to the other. And swap again. And again. And just alternating gently for 3 and 2 and 1. That's lovely. And eventually letting both legs extend, coming to your full downward dog. If you'd like to take a moment, come to the child's pose and then come back up whenever you're ready. Fingers and hands pushing you backwards, shoulders releasing, rolling, hip joints freeing, legs extending, heels dropping. For 3 and 2 and 1. Looking forwards and start walking towards your hands, coming to the forward fold. Exhale, release. You can hold your elbows here, or you can hold your legs, or you can let the arms release. Really noticing if you're holding any tension here. Notice if you're holding the head or if you're really letting it dangle. If you're holding the shoulders or if the arms are held. See if by gently bending your knees, things become a bit easier and a bit softer. And allow that gentle bending of the knees to happen if it helps. Very nice. And from there, we're going to purposely just bend the knees a bit more. And slowly, very, very slowly, so not to get dizzy, we're going to start rolling up vertebra by vertebra, making sure that the head comes up at the very, very end. First, unfolding the spine, then letting the shoulders find their place, finally allowing the head to rise to the top. Very nice. Just finding your feet, allowing your knees to stay soft, shoulders relaxed. Nice. Bring your feet a tiny closer together. So they're, yes, let's say a fist width apart. Yes. And inhale very slowly. Arms will rise and reach all the way up. On the exhale, softly, we're going to bring it all the way down, forward fold, like in slow motion. Inhale, the back will open, coming parallel to the ground. On the exhale, we release again, forward fold. Inhale, coming up, arms will rise, reaching all the way up. Exhale, hands to chest. One more. Slowly as before. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, forward fold, slowly down we go. Inhale, the back opens parallel. Exhale, down, forward fold again. Inhale, rising, arms reach out and all the way up. Exhale, finding center, hands to chest. Nice. Well done. Bring it all the way down to the ground for the last few minutes and our relaxation. So just taking your time, allowing the body to redefine that idea of support. So where the support comes from right now. What you could actually do to really be at ease. Is that tiny switch in the brain that really allows you to completely let go and feel safe in an environment, to trust so you can let go. Just taking a moment, finding the breath again here. Finding that sense of spaciousness as you breathe in. And a letting go as you breathe out. And everything is soft. Everything is gentle. Your body is soft. Your mind, your thoughts are soft. Your breath is soft. And allowing your body to be recharged in that condition. Knowing that it's a place that you can access whenever you'd like. Finding that sense of grounding, that sense of support that gives you the ability to open and at the same time release. And in your own time and in your own way, you can start gently reactivating the body, inviting it back into the day, just moving fingers, toes, hands and feet, stretching arms and stretching legs, opening, twisting, turning, moving, welcoming your body back into the day, and eventually rolling over to one side and coming up to sitting. And then just finding your sitting bones where you are. Finding that length through the spine, sense of opening and spaciousness within. And with an inhale, let the arms rise, reach, open, connect, embrace. With the exhale, bring your hands to your chest. Find center. Find balance. And inhale, open eyes.
minds, hearts. Thank you for joining today. Have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll see you next time.